Hello everyone, Venus here. Sorry for being late, but the DLC was also late, so I thought that maybe it's like in theme to be a delay. Not 6 months, but several seconds at least. Yeah, this is a review of Thrones of Decay for Total War Warhammer 3 DLC. That was released last week when I'm recording this video, and I had the chance to play it. And yeah, let's talk about the DLC because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. So in this video I would like to talk about several stuff in regarding to the DLC, so what you can expect. I will be talking about each faction because this DLC is separated in 3 different DLCs like Dwarfs, Empire and the Nurgle, and I will be talking about those. I will also talk about patch 4.5.0 and of course what I think about the DLC, is it worth it, and what about the price point that is still the case in those new Total War Warhammer DLCs. So yeah, let's start from the best faction. I think the best DLC, and that would be the Empire.
Beneath death's shadow, our enemies fall.
Elspeth Fordraken is a leader of Wissenland in the Null of an Empire, and she is the best in all of those 3 DLCs, in my opinion. Why? A lot of stuff. Because, first of all, she's getting an Iked Workshop rework. We can just call it that way. She's just getting the Iked's Workshop, but it's a good thing. You got the units upgrades, that visual looks better in this new menu. You get the new Amethyst units that are just better versions of the DLC units, and also getting the army abilities of the School of Amethyst, so the death magic. And this is all really. You're using the schematics, plans that you get through the everything that most likely you're doing in the game, and yeah, that's all. Her mechanics is very simple, but it's working. It gives a very good feel of progression, and you are just going through the stuff. But the fact that this campaign was more enjoyable for me was not only because of her mechanics, but overall Empire rework. So the thing that I will be talking more in the patch 5.0 section. And damn it, yeah, I have to say I had a lot of fun with Elspeth, and there's not really much to talk here, and I can straight up say that if you like Empire, if Empire is your faction, her DLC is good. Her DLC for $8.99 bucks is good, and it's worth it, and I enjoy it a lot. And this is like a good part of this DLC is Empire. The bad part for me personally would be the units. As you know, we got a new engineer characters, engineer lord and engineer hero. We also have several gunpowder units, and those units sadly they have 2 problems for me. Yeah. And those problems first would be visuals. They're terrible visuals. For a DLC unit, they look very poor. Just look on the Hochland long rifles. This model is so freaking poor, and it's still using all the assets from Total War Warhammer 1. Those, even the textures were not updated. So to this day, this is very, very poor quality. And sadly, both Null Dinosaur and Hochland long rifles, great addition to the roster, but they don't give anything mechanically. They are just better handgunners. There's no reason to use handgunners, especially that there's only 1 tier difference between those units, and you just take them. They are just better in every possible way. Knights of the Red Blood Rose, the Flower Knights are cool, but again, nothing that's groundbreaking. I like chapter houses of cavalry for Empire, but it's like a very more lore or thematic thing. Doesn't change much here. Going further, we have the new Steam Tank version, which is okay, which is cool addition. Steam Tanks are OP, especially with new attributes, but it's fun still. So cool addition, doesn't change much. And we have the Marienburg landship. This is way different because this is one thing that I really like in terms of the units, because it's something more interesting. This is like a Thunder Barge but on ground, everyone's shooting and so on. So it's very interesting. Strange thing is that the captain of the ship, as you can see here, had very good unique new model, but everyone the rest on the ship, old models, old Warhammer 1 models. But yeah, this would be with the units. Regiments over now a bit let down, but I think this is how we getting the regiments of the renown recently in Total War Warhammer 3, so this is vanilla, yeah. And yeah, overall I would rank Empire as a very good part of the DLC, worth 8.99. But if I would have this Empire without the reworks, then no, it would not be worth it. Because the reworks are making the Empire better, but I will be talking about in another section. Okay, let's move to the next part of the DLC and the big pack of the DLC, and those are the Dwarfs.
Slayer oath to be fulfilled through iron, grit, and glory.
Malachi Mackayson is your engineer lord, and he's getting several stuff. So he's all focused about the Slayer, so we are getting Slayer Hero and Slayer Lord. We are getting new Slayer units like Doomsayers, Slayer Pirates, Goblobber, and of course I forgot because there's too much of those, yeah. We have the Thunder Barge, of course, and Thunderers with Grudge Rakers. Goblin Hewers it was, not Goblobbers. I always mix those names. But yeah, so mechanically, what Mackay is getting. Mackay is getting his adventures. It is just better version of Norska hunting. When you pick a mission, then you need to do specific small missions to go on a quest battle, and you are getting several buffs to the specific units that link to this battle. And those upgrades are OP, like extremely overpowered, to the point of Malachi Mackayson is a one campaign in turn 10, because more or less this is the moment when you can get the grape shot cannons, that one of those cannons is able to just kill every unit in 1, 2, 3, maximum 3 volleys. It's so overpowered and strong that it's absurdly strong to the point that it's not fun for me, at least. Yeah. Besides that, Mackay is getting the Horde mechanic, so he on his Thunder Barge is able to move around and build buildings for himself, and also he got the army ability to summon the Thunder Barge. And this is more or less everything for Malachi. Oh, sorry, he's also starting with Felix and Gore-Tex because this is lore thing, and Felix and Gore-Tex are normal heroes right now, which I'll be getting again in section of 5.0. And what can I say here? Malachi Mackayson have the biggest problem for me, because I didn't enjoy his campaign. I'm quite surprised I didn't enjoy his campaign, because from the previous videos and the trailers that we were speaking about on the channel, I thought that he will be the best. This will be the best campaign, best content, most fun, and so on. I think this is the case of Doombull for me. Brassbull. Brassbull is a type of Doombull. You know the point. You know the big. We had a RPG session even with Cody ages ago about it. Again, I think Malachi has a problem of Brassbull. He gets all of his mechanics, all the power ASAP. There is no build-up, there is no progression, and he is just too strong from the beginning. And it is fun for 5-10 turns, but then it gets very stale and boring. It was the same case with the Trickster Cult. So the Changeling, that's the big problem for me. The mechanics should be getting unlocked slower, just slower, because like playing Empire, I played the most Empire because I had the most fun. I really had fun. First time really in 3 years, I had so much fun in Warhammer 3. 2 years. Sorry, I said 3 years. you get the point. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with him, and that's her empire. The problem is, as I said, Malachi is getting too much, and the different problem is that the dwarf rework is not working on some parts. CA is looking into that, but at the point of release, many of dwarfs reworks are not working, and I will be speaking about it in the next section. So dwarfs, I don't think it's worth it, especially if you're not going to plan to play Malachi for this price. Maybe if you really are a big dwarf fan, yeah, then go with it. But if you're not, I think you can wait with this DLC buying. Okay, next one, let's move to the grandfather Nurgle that have our new Maggot Lord Tamakan.
Rot will consume all.
Okay, so Tamakan is a bit odd for me because his main mechanic is that he's getting his chieftains that were in the lore, in the books, and those chieftains go with own mechanics. As long as they are in battle with you, they get more they like you more, and unlock new mechanics. They can give bonuses to your army or a whole faction for several turns. They can also recruit the units for a specific faction. An idea on paper is very cool. For me, the biggest problem was that it is all about managing heroes, and as you know, I don't like managing heroes in this game, never liked it, but overall I think mechanics is solid and many people will like it. The big problem of Tamakan mechanic, maybe not mechanic, like the overall thing is the fact that his starting position is terrible in both campaigns, and you have no one to fight with. You need to do a big stretch to get to Empire and fight against Null, so it's more fun. And sadly, I also think that the problem goes with some Nurgle reworks here, because like the rework is better than the Dwarfs one, I admit, but I think that the building changes did almost nothing, and the plagues are quite weak. The mechanic is way better than it was, but it's quite weak. But I will be getting to it in the next section. What about the units? Because you are getting the units and characters. You are getting a Nurgle Lord, Melee Lord, and Nurgle Sorcerer Lord, and they are fine additions. Nothing groundbreaking, but cool additions nonetheless. For the units, we have the Plague Ogres. Plague Ogres are a bit problematic for me, not only because I hate ogres, but because of the fact that they don't change much in the roster. But I see them as fitting for Tamarkan because he's not about demonic units, he's more about non-demonic units, so it fits for him and this theme. We also have the Pestigors. Pestigors are also a very good unit, especially for Nurgle, because they are fast-hitting unit that are not flying. Other stuff, we have the Toad Dragon. Nothing bad to say about this unit. I like it. Great animations, by the way. And what else? And the best unit in the DLC, in my opinion, the Rot Knights. Amazing. So they are like a Nurgle equivalent of Blood Crushers and Skull Crushers of course, and they are very good. This is a new addition to the lore overall of Nurgle, but a very, very, very cool unit overall. Very thematic, working properly and going their way to get some enemy blood. If I would rank this DLC, yeah, this is good. This is the DLC that you should go if you like the Nurgle, but not even if you like the Nurgle, because if you like the heroes, you will like it. I don't like the heroes, but this is like a personal thing. So yeah, I would rank the Nurgle good, worth it, just go for it. So we talked about the each DLC separately, but what about the whole package? Whole package about the DLC, because the last month of CA were quite terrible. Let's face it, last month, year, 2 years, Warhammer 3 is in a very bad state, was in a bad state. Why? Because Thrones of Decay, I think, right now, if not counting the Chaos Dwarfs, but Chaos Dwarfs were the new addition fully to the game. The Thrones of Decay is a good DLC. It's a good DLC that have it's very good theme. It's going own way. It's no its own personality, but have small two problems in my opinion. The first problem is the price. Still, I think $25 is too much for a DLC. Even the fact that you can buy those DLC separately for $9, it is too much. It is too much for the DLC. For $25, you can have a lot of cool games, and even several of those. For example, some games like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is way cheaper, and you can get another one in such a small price. I think $25 is too much for the DLC, even in this scope. Other thing is the fact that those DLC, how to say it, they sadly don't work on themselves. Let's say it. They work only because we have the reworks, which is still a good thing, of course. Yeah, I'm happy about it. But I would say that the prices and the DLCs some have small problems. But again, I think overall this is the best DLC that we have since Chaos Dwarfs, and for like a non-faction DLC, this is the best DLC that we had for this game, Total War Warhammer 3. Again, a small nitpick that I just was thinking about it. There is no narration in it. Each DLC in Warhammer 2, the best DLCs in Warhammer 2, and also the Champions of Chaos got a straight up narration. So they're fighting each other, there's a quest battle in the end, you got this goal to go, like the missions even. And I was missing it. I was missing the bigger role. I really like the DLC campaigns in Warhammer 2. I played them several times for each. And yeah, this is the thing that I was missing in this DLC. But overall, yeah, I'm extremely happy. I hope this is a good DLC. And I would really encourage you to take it if you like Warhammer 3 and want to support the developers. But there are other stuff that we need to talk about. And this is patch 5.0, because a lot of things happened in Total War Warhammer 3 since the several last month. The terrible fiasco of Shadows of Change that we all know how ended. Many people were fired in Creative Assembly, and there was like a attempt to fix it with this 3 DLC addition to the Shadows of Change several months ago, and I overall would rank it as it was a positive, but I still don't think that the Shadows of Change is something that it's worth it, really, especially if you don't play those factions. And what about patch 5.0 and the reworks? Because we really got a reworks, the Dwarf reworks, Empire, and the Nurgle actual reworks. Let's go from the beginning. Okay, so Empire. Imperial Authority is now a meter that shows how many territories Empire factions have in Empire, and they are giving the faction 1 bonuses. Amazing change, very good change. No longer you have those random ass events that are saying that you need to go here, there, and everything is a freaking RNG. There is no such bullshit anymore, and I'm extremely happy with that, because I was talking about this for years. You can look at my videos in Warhammer 2 even years ago. I was always saying bad words about the Empire Rook. I thought that the last one was terrible. This one, freaking amazing. I have to say it right now. It was amazing. Playing Elspeth and Karl Franz were freaking amazing, and there are several points because of that. The next point is that Empire got a rework of Technology Tree. It's still a mess how it is looking. I don't know why they don't use the tabs that they did for the Dwarfs, Nurgle, and other factions. But the new tech tree is way better. The Elector Cons units can be unlocked in there. There are some colleges stuff. Yeah, it's overall way better. It's way better. Karl Franz got new additions. His prestige is now used on the new mechanic that can increase the surplus of the factions, send an army, remove corruption. Very thematic, very good, and very strong. But this Overall, I would say addition for the Carl and the Geld that have like a school of magic with the different lores, different army abilities. He got better army abilities right now than Kairos or Teclis, which is really funny, by the way, in vanilla, but I will get to it. And other stuff is that both of those additions, I think those are making the vanilla factions, those 3 additions, making those both the best, like the best. Those are the best 3 additions for a specific legendary lord since the game was released. I think even in Warhammer 2. So they are very strong. They are like Karl and Geld are very strong. Funny enough, Wolfhard campaign is still terrible. The effects that he's getting are poor, and same goes for Volkmar. Volkmar is in dust. Volkmar is very bad. I would say his campaign is the worst for the Empire right now. But yeah, to ranking the DLC of Empire and Elsbeth really helped the fact that the Empire rework was very good. Very good. Of course, the visuals are still shit for the Empire. They're terrible. But overall, yeah, I have to say that the Empire rework was fantastic and really changed this faction to one of the best again to play with. And I really encourage you to do it. But let's go further. Let's talk about maybe Nurgle. Let's leave Dwarfs for the last one, because I will have a lot of things to talk about the Dwarfs. Nurgle. First of all, Tech Tree was reworked. What more to say? 2 taps, more clean, better. The old technology tree. The problem for me was not the tree itself, how it was done, but the effects were just terrible. Here, effects are way better. They are a little bit overpowered again with each technology rework that he is doing recently. You can fill the whole technology in less than 100 turns, and there are very strong bonuses there. So you know what I think about the power creep, which I don't like. So, but overall, the theme of the technology tree, how it is made, the schematic, yeah, it's very good. I like it. The buildings were changed. That some buildings are rotating, some are not. Those that are rotating require the plagues resource, and then the other one are just gold. And they are sadly very boring. And for me personally, they didn't change at all how I play Nurgle in terms of the buildings. But I understand what they were going with. Sadly, I think that there should be more steps. That the building should be more interesting. Just the effects, like one is just for growth, one is for the infection, and one is for gold, and that's all. There are no other buildings really for the Nurgle. A lot of small effects were done for the Nurgle that are better, but the big pinnacle of his rework were the plagues, and the plague system is quite amazing on its basis. So each plague you do, it starts taking a different point. You can link those plagues, make a cool plague. You can then change its duration, infection chance, and if it's a cultist or if it's on the specific settlement or your army. Very cool stuff, but the effects overall are quite weak, and things like minus 25 growth for the enemy province does nothing, even if it is used against you, really, if you get playing against dwarfs. Then we have Epidemius. This is the first free legendary lord, getting back in Warhammer 3 with I hope a tradition to getting free legendary lords and not free legendary heroes. You know that I don't like heroes. I will say in this video several times that I don't like heroes, but he is a bit undercooked, but his idea is solid, that you're getting the faction-wide bonuses depending how many stuff is getting plagues. The problem is that it's hard to get more plagues. You never get the effects that you want with him. But it's good that we get a free legendary lord, so I'm happy. Okay, so yeah, Nurgle is cool. Nurgle is cool. Nurgle is better, and what is really funny, I like playing Kugath more right now than Tamarkan on Epidemius, because Kugath got the manifestations, the Nurgle manifestations that I like more than Tamarkan mechanic, because I don't like heroes. Yeah, I said heroes several times already. Okay, let's move to the Dwarfs. The Dwarfs in patch 5.0. I don't like it. I don't like the Dwarfs rework. There are several points of it. No, I don't like everything, but Let's go with stuff. First of all, many buildings were changed, and those changes, not saying that they are way taken from SFO 1-1, but yeah, they were. The tiers of many units were dropped down to the point that you can get the Iron Drakes on tier 2 in minor settlements, and this is to the point that I had with Malachi. Because of that, you're getting very strong units very fast. I think the Dwarfs had the lowest tiers for units overall in the game in terms of their cost, and it makes the game extremely easy, extremely unfun, and building settlements totally no-brainer. So yeah, I didn't like it. The thing that I like was the technology changes. Again, very strong technology, way too strong in my opinion, way too fast, but it's a very good technology tree. It's done properly, got very cool effects, very cool new abilities for the units, which is great if technology is giving out actual abilities and not flat bonuses. So technology tree is a big win here. But let's move to the other stuff, and this is the Book of Grudges. The Book of Grudges got several changes. First of all, you get the confederations from a good Book of Grudges. Great. You also have the ancient grudges. So Drunk Flamingo was making a mod like that ages ago that we had in SFO. We're also making together some additional grudges, I remember, to be just in SFO. And this is a very thematic. So those are like a mini short victory conditions. So you get the bonuses and so on. I love it. I love it. But then we are moving to the how the Great Book of Grudges works overall. So anything that enemy is doing, not enemy trespassing, attacking, raiding, not being nice, looking funky, and so on, is generating the grudges above their army settlements and so on. And it means that you need to go and attack those to get those grudges. And on top, you are feeling the Age of Reckoning mechanic. And I really fucking hate it. I hate Age of Reckoning mechanic because it's global bloodletting of corn, but it's on timer. And every 10 turn, you need to fill it, or you're getting negative stuff on lower tiers. And when you get it to max, and the 10 turns ends, you can delay it for the 10 turns more, or it is resetting. And then you are get ability to recruit free grudge units that can be recruited like ROR, so everywhere. And I really fucking hate this mechanic, as I said. First of all, it's broken right now because the grudge for every cycle is calculating with how many factions you know. CA said that they are going to fix it, and I hope it's fixed, and it just have a flat increase every cycle and not based percentage on how many settlements you have. There are the mods already that are fixing it, but other stuff is that CA said that it will be higher cooldown, so 15 turns. I still think that doesn't fix the problem, because the Dwarfs right now, because of the rework, is a faction about rushing. They rush to kill enemies. They need to have a constant war with someone to fill the grudges. I get it. Dwarfs are a nasty buggers, but the fact that you are forced to do it and you need to be nasty all the time and a bad person, I don't like it. I really don't like it. And Malachi was the least played campaign by me in an update. In a DLC, because I really felt forced to do it. I think this mechanic would be perfectly working if timer was only for Ungrim or maybe Malachi, yeah? But for the rest of the Dwarfs faction and overall, I don't like it. I was surprised how I didn't like it. I really like the other additions like the tech tree and the overall Book of Grudges changes and the system for adding those grudges for the enemies, because this is a very good system. But yeah, I think there are a lot of problems with it right now. And I think that dwarves were not double fought was put in the rework. Yeah, I didn't like it. And also the fact, sadly, that all the rest of the dwarf lords, so Belaga, Torek, Ungrim, and Torgrim, got nothing. They actually got nothing. There is no reason to play them. Play Malachi, confederate the rest, you will get the same experience or better experience. This is a big misstep, especially that the Kalfrans, Geld, even Kugath and Epidemius are more interesting free characters for the rest of the factions that got the reworks. So yeah, I will say that the Dwarf Europe was quite weak in this patch 5.0, and also the big misstep in patch 5.0 is that besides the Dwarfs Empire and Nurgle work, it does nothing. It really does nothing to the game. There are no big quality of life changes. There are some small stuff to the health bars, but there are not really that many changes that you will notice. So if you are not playing Dwarfs Empire and Nurgle, there is no reason to get back to 5.0 as an update, because it changes almost nothing. Yes, you have the Nemesis Crown that I didn't mention, which is a cool mechanic. This is just a better Sword of Cain with a own UI. But besides that, there is no reason to get back to the other factions. Is it good or is it bad? It's not me to judge. I'm happy that those factions that were focused on are good. Almost all of them. But yeah, maybe in future we'll get more groundbreaking changes to the game, to the systems that needs to be fixed, because for example the sieges are still terrible. And I think that patch 4.2, so the additions for Shadows of Change, were better as an update for the game itself than those. But yeah, let's talk about your opinions, because I asked on our Discord, the patrons Discord, about your opinions of the DLC, and let's look on few of those. Kabul said, major step up, but I wish they had touched the other Dawi Lords a bit more like Geld and gave Marcus Volkmar some stuff. Yeah, so the thing that I was speaking about. It's a very decent DLC from Warhammer 2 times Silbalzapun. I totally agree with that. I've only played Nurgle so far, but I think the changes are really good. The plague mechanism is interesting, the recruitment is fine. Not great, but much better. I love the Nurgle tech tree, fast and rewarding, but not broken. I don't agree. However, the garrison are pathetic, the Valrus said. Yeah, I agreed with that. Profian is saying, units and the mechanics of the DLC factions look great from the thematic perspective. Their models are great, their animations are amazing, but they are hyper giga broken and overtuned in number. Reworked feels great, and the changes to older vanilla factions should be appreciated. Some mechanics like Dwarves Grudge needs more fine-tuning since they became counterintuitive and sometimes no longer make sense altogether. Yes, I agree. I didn't talk about the Thunderbird, how broken is it, but everyone knows it. The power level of these factions is far too high compared to the existing factions. Naxela said, I totally agree with that. Cerberus is power creep plus. Again. Achilles is saying, a nice broken toy. Power creep, a slippery slope. The more you descend, the less of average age of the player base. Those were one of the reviews or the opinions that I would say that were very maybe drastic, but overall the rest are very positive. And same goes on the Steam, same goes on the forums, and people are happy about the Total War. But what do I think about the Total War right now in its actual state? Yeah, let's go this way. I still don't agree with the price, but yeah, let's go this way. Total War Warhammer 3 is getting back, baby, and let's hope that this will be the path that will be now threading, and more DLCs to come for Warhammer 3 on such quality, because the bar was set high right now, and if it goes low, people will be angry again, and I will be angry. So yeah, let's go that way. And damn, that was a long review. I hope you withstand to the end. Remember to feed the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching, and I was Venris, and I'm out. See ya!